I want to start by saying happy spring. Today being the 20th of March, this is also the onset of spring in Canada. I don't think we have ever waited to welcome spring with so much of eagerness as now, because almost most of the people out there are anticipating that the LMIA points will be removed in spring. And that was the announcement that Mark Miller made in December before. I mean, of course, he is no longer the immigration minister. And then Rachel Bendan became the immigration minister, and all eyes are on her to basically bring about this change and make this announcement as soon as possible. Now, I don't anticipate it to happen today because that's not how it works. When they say spring is going to extend from 20th of March until 20th of June. So it can happen on any day during this period of time. And also because this particular subject carries so much of weight in the sense of that this is considered as a huge fraud prevention or fraud curbing step. Therefore, I would assume the government will want to make some sort of big announcement that will showcase that they have made this kind of a change. However, there is a curveball in the play here. Now, as per the latest CBC report, which came in this morning, Mark Carney, who is now the Prime Minister of Canada, is expected to call upon the Governor General of Canada, and he is going to dissolve the Parliament, Canadian Parliament, on Sunday. And basically that would initiate an election process, and there would be a campaign, and it is expected to be, the election campaign would expected to run for about 36 to 50 days. Therefore, we could all see voting happening in Canada on the 28th of April or the 5th of May. Now, this is high anticipation again within the political circles, and if indeed Mark Carney does dissolve the Parliament or call upon the Governor General to dissolve the Parliament, then you no longer have an immigration minister anymore, which basically means we will have a new immigration minister once the new government takes place, depending on whether it's going to be the Liberals or Conservatives or some sort of a coalition, we don't know. So at this point of time, as I said earlier, right, if you've seen my previous video when Rachel Bendan was appointed as the immigration minister, I said that though we have all got high hopes, we shouldn't be expecting much, because this is going to be a status quo. This is just an interim situation right now, and that's exactly how it is playing about right now. So in this interim period, there will be lots of questions. What's going to happen now? Will they remove the 50 points? Will the immigration draws continue? Will the ECEC draws continue? What is going to happen with other categories? Now, usually what happens is that IRCC has an operational think tank, and the think tank is the one which is coming up with all the policies, drafting measures, coming up with the public policies after having paid a lot of attention to data and analytics, etc., etc. And this is then proposed to the Deputy Immigration Minister or to the Immigration Minister, and that's when the immigration signs it off, which is pretty much understood that the minister would, because they're relying entirely on this operational think tank that you have in IRCC. From here on, these policies will be put into place as has already been decided in advance. Now, it is my understanding that the reason for the delay in removing the LMIA points has largely to do with the fact of the systems, as in IRCC's Express Entry system, the GCMS systems, whether they can take into consideration the whole coding aspect of these points. Now, I know a lot of you have always said that this coding is very easy, the coding shouldn't be difficult, etc., etc. I am not a coder, I'm not an IT techie, so I don't really know what goes into it, but this has been seen in the past. There is a lot of precedence on this matter, that whenever such kind of substantial change has to be made within the system, it takes them a really long time. And after they make the change, and then also the system pretty much goes into a freeze, and there are lots of technical glitches, which basically means they have to hold back on the draws. So overall, you can see a lot of turbulence coming through as far as the express entry draws are concerned, but that has got nothing to do with the elections that are now on the horizon. The draws should continue because they are already pre-scheduled in advance. The IRCC already has identified when they would like to conduct the draws, what would be the number of invitations, what would be the categories, whether it would be the regular draw, PNP draw, CEC draw, etc. That has already been decided upon. IRCC already has a timetable, they already have a schedule, and most likely they are expected to follow that schedule unless there is something different that happens which might need them to course correct or pivot. But other than that, this is the biggest news right now, that the elections are coming. The Prime Minister of Canada is expected to call upon the Governor General to dissolve the Parliament, which should happen on Sunday, following which the election is expected on the 28th of April or the 5th of May, and we should all have a new immigration minister by the month of May. But until that happens, I will keep you updated. Don't forget to subscribe and like and share this video, and I will see you on the other side.